Good morning, everyone. We're continuing here in the words of the CHOFETZ CHAIM. Yesterday we spoke about an apikoros and the even mitzvah that a person has to speak about the heretic. What about a Rasha? What about a wicked person who sins? But he's not a heretic. You should know further, the Rasha, if this person is known throughout the city as a Rasha, as an evil person, not as an apikoros, not as a heretic, but as a Rasha, a wicked person, because of many other averes that he does. And the averes, the sins that he does, and he's known as a Rasha, you'd be allowed to shame him and disparage him. The halach is going to be the same as an apikoros, meaning again that you have permission to disparage such a person. You'll take a look in the Ber Mayim Chaim. There are conditions that need to be met exactly how a person is going to do this. However, for this argument's sake, it's going to be permissible. How do you know that a person is established as a Rasha? Anyone that is considered to be a Rasha in the eyes of the people of the city, until there's no doubt about his sinful behavior. Because there's negative gossip and stories that are going around about him all the time throughout the city. The people are accusing him of being immoral or doing other terrible transgressions. And these are averas that every single Jew knows you're not allowed to do. And therefore, since those rumors that are going around, the reports that are going around are constant and clear, therefore he's already solidified over here as a Rasha. But if all that you hear is a rumor, so the first case is not rumor, it's negative reports that are like verifiable negative reports where everybody knows about it. But if there's only rumors going around town, you're not allowed to disparage such a person because of that, God forbid. Even for you to believe it in your heart that this rumor is true, that's going to be also you can't. Like we mentioned above in the 7th chapter. You're not allowed to accept Lashon HaRa. Now listen to CHOFETZ CHAIM. Even though I'm very hesitant and fearful about putting this halach into my sefer, that if you hear Lashon HaRa about it, if you hear things about a Rasha, that you'd be allowed to speak Lashon HaRa. I'm afraid of the people that like to speak Lashon HaRa. Once they hear one little negative thing about a person, they're going to say, oh, this guy's a Rasha, I'm allowed to speak Lashon HaRa about him. And they're going to say, the CHOFETZ CHAIM says you're allowed to speak Lashon HaRa about a Rasha in his own sefer, so that's why I'm allowed to do it. And therefore, says the CHOFETZ CHAIM, I'm afraid that people are going to misinterpret my words. Nevertheless, even though that I'm concerned that maybe people will make a mistake, Lo Ishmativ, I did not withhold writing these words in my sefer. Like a story in the Gemara Bava Basra about Yochanan and Zakkai, he was not sure whether or not he should reveal the treacherous practices that the merchants were doing, and they were doing certain things, and he was afraid that if the swindlers of that time would hear about what they were doing, they would abuse these teachings, and they would do the wrong things and cheat themselves. However, Rabbi Yochanan and Zakkai said, wait a second, but there's a pasuk, and based on this particular verse, I have an obligation to reveal these information. If somebody wants to misuse it, that's their problem. Ki yesharim darchei Hashem, it says in the verse in Hosea, the ways of Hashem are straight and just. V'tzadikim yachubam, the righteous will go in there. V'poishim yikoshlubam, the poishim, the sinners, they will end up stumbling in them. So says the CHOFETZ CHAIM, it's not my fault if you misinterpret my words and use it to your benefit to speak Lashon HaRa. Rather, you should know that you should understand things in the proper way. And if a person, Taki, is a Rasha, that means that you really would be allowed to speak Lashon HaRa about them. If someone is only rumored to be a Rasha, and it's not guaranteed and verifiable, then you must be careful. You cannot speak Lashon HaRa about such a person. Have a wonderful day.